Hi Ivan, it's Fancy, and I'm looking at your design and comparing it with what you said. I'm trying to use interpenetration while following the idea of fire and water. I assume that you're using visual pathways, and I'm also assuming that they're gradating within because I don't really see anything gradating across pathways, or not in any obvious way. So right now, and I may not see the paths in the way that you intend people to see them, so I'm just going to say I say this one. And I see a path here. I see this one. I think that it either goes like this, and then I see this one, and I see this one. This one kind of ends, and I'm not sure where it goes. So I do see your interpenetrations. I think those are working. They're reciprocating. Um, they're noticeable, but not too large or too small. As far as the composition, I know that you have to work in areas of water, and I don't think you have enough of that. First of all, we need to address whether your scale is too green in the chromatic grays. So I'd like to know what was said during critique last night. For me, I think it's too green. Those middle chromatic grays in your scale. And as far as the pathways, what I've been thinking about water and fire. I think it's easier to think about in focus, out of focus. And what I've been suggesting to people is, maybe they approach the design in a very similar fashion to the other projects that we've had. So build all your pathways just as you would normally, gradating within, trying to balance the composition through the placement of the pathways, and then go back in and start to, add the water. So because you need large areas of water, and with the greens, I think it's kind of hard to tell what water is. You don't really have that out of focus as much as you would with some of the other palettes. So going back, once you have your visual pathways built, and every module is part of a pathway, and the pathways are balanced and well distributed, and you've got your interpenetrations right where you want them, then I think you should go in and, add more water to the composition. And then you'll see that these pathways that you constructed start to kind of go out of focus in parts of the composition. And they'll go in and out of focus as they travel around the composition. And your job at that point is to try to maintain the way the viewer follows the pathways, even though they're going in and out of focus. So then you have to work with kind of continuation and making sure that as a pathway travels across and goes maybe out of focus, and then comes back into focus somewhere else in the composition, is there enough continuation to help the viewer complete the path? And then seeing, are those areas of water well balanced, and using smaller areas of fire to really make those small areas pop. In some ways, they become like small focal points, or they can become focal points in your composition, but small ones, um, because of the intensity of the perceptual opposites being next to each other. And where you place those should be strategic to also help lead the eye around the composition. So I hope that helps a bit, and if you could, please post what was said in critique.